Okay, so I'm doing this video. I had to talk to the girls. They're here on summer break, so you know how that goes. But anyway, I'm redoing this video from what I did last night because I was extremely tired. Started the video after we got back from the studio, and it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when I decided to do the video, and so it was just not good. I was slurring my words and getting things confused and all of that, right? So, taking the day off, I'm a little sick too. Think I'm getting a cold or something. Yesterday, I sliced my hand open on the car. There's a sharp part that I didn't even know was there, and I was putting some stuff in there and just cut my hand pretty good. So, yeah, it was. I worked a lot yesterday, so and it was very hot. So now I'm trying to do this video before it gets super hot because in the man cave it's just horrible. I got to work on some things here in the man cave to make it a lot more comfortable, so I won't have to worry about it next year. But all my energy and focus is going right now into the shop. So I need to take some time to do some stuff in here and make it a whole lot better. But anyhow, regardless, um, so just an update as to what we're doing now, next steps, stages, things like that. There's some people that wanted to know what we were doing next. And so this was an old clothing store, to give you a little bit of an update. This is a section of Freight House Square that has the newer roof. At the top of it is, you can see the wood ceiling and the beams, and it's really beautiful. There's skylights, new air conditioning system. So we're not where the food court is, where it's super hot. There are some stores that are closer to the food court, so they benefit from all the traffic because the food court's pretty popular. But it's warm there. Where we are, the skylights add a nice touch, but it is not nearly as hot. So that's great. And we're also right next to the event space, the venue that they have, excuse me, for like events and things like that. So it's really, really good. And so that is great. The clothing store that was there had changing rooms, and it had a small area where it kept its stock and stuff like that. So we aren't going to really change the format too much. I mean, they said that they could knock it down and all of that. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I have to get on the kids. They were in there fighting over Legos in the computer. So anyway, the store that was there was a clothing store, and it has a small changing room. We're going to leave that because it works well with the girls. So I went in there yesterday, built a desk in that space, which will allow them to have their computers, tablets, things like that, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to install some more shelving in there for them to put their snacks and whatever when they're there. Typically, they're going to be in school, so it's not a problem, but sweets will be there from time to time. And so having her in that particular space would be totally cool. It's not a space that we really have much of a use for. Like I said, they wanted to tear it down for us, and we said, no, just leave it. We could have actually used it for additional space, but we're like, no, if it comes to a point where we need to expand for some reason, then we can do that. The man cave can serve as storage if we have to for additional supplies and things like that. Not a problem at all. So it just depends really on how well the store does. But for right now, the way it's set up is totally cool. The other space where they actually had kind of like their little stock room area, we're going to use that as well to actually hold a lot of the pottery pieces and things like that that are not yet used. So it's just going to be storage. So we're going to put that there, probably put a small refrigerator back there, microwave, things like that. And that's going to be what that area is for. So I got to go. I was going to do that today, and how I sliced my hand, I was putting carpet into the car. I had a roll of carpet. So I'm going to install carpet into the areas where the girls are going to be and the stockroom area. One, the girls like to crawl around on the floor, sit on the floor, lay around, that type of thing. These are old hardwood floors. So what I'm going to do is actually install some carpet into both areas back there. And these aren't areas that have access to the public anyway, but it just makes things a little bit more comfortable and a lot more easier, that type of thing. Also, pottery pieces that would fall onto the ground are going to crack, break. So the carpet helps, especially in the storage room area. So I'm going to install that. We got some, Noelle got some more shelving and things like that the other day, which I brought in yesterday. And that shelving wood was so heavy. I mean, that right there is what wore me out. Like, I had to go back and forth. We're getting a utility cart. What's great about the spot is that it's right across from the garage, Sound Transit Garage. There's free parking there. It's typically available, and you're able to come right from the garage right across, and then there's like a wheelchair access area, so it's easy to take something with wheels up the steps there, so it makes things a whole lot easier. Now it does get tricky once you have to go up some more steps to get to our spot, but that's less of a problem, I think. There is a small elevator, but they've turned it off. There's other ways to get to the second floor, but you have to go around and all that. But anyway, um, so that's kind of the goal, is to get a utility cart, make things a whole lot easier, and then we can roll stuff back and forth. It was a chore yesterday moving all that wood, all that metal, all that bracing. It was not fun. But I'm going to actually install some shelving in certain particular areas, mainly in the room with the girls. The storage area probably will get some shelving, that type of thing too. We just have to see how we're going to do that. We're still trying to figure out some of the layout plans, things like that. Yesterday, Noelle worked on the sign for this particular Freight House Square. Is like a little small mall for mom and pop places. Mom and pop, literally. So a lot of folks makes their own little signs. Some of them get professionally done signs, what have you. So Noelle made an amazing sign, and I mean, she thought it wasn't that great, but then there was other people saying, yeah, it was really nice. We told her it was really nice. So she put up a nice, she made the sign, I put it up. Well, she actually helped too. We both together put that sign up. It's a pretty heavy sign, but it looks really, really good. Just working on a few fine-tuning touch things, nothing major at all really, but just basically getting things ready. And I think that we should be ready for the end of the month to actually start things up. Now, the other thing that we're waiting on, the two big things are a sink that needs to be installed and then the kiln. So both of those are the two big pieces. The kiln, which costs thousands of dollars, is going to be brought in by the company that we bought it from. They're going to do the install and everything else because it's heavy. You know, there's a chance that you can drop it, that type of thing. So I'd rather have them do that, and they're going to put it there on site. We have to make sure that the electrical can support it. There is a plug there. We're checking with the maintenance folks, the building folks, to make sure that that plug can handle it, because obviously this is a lot of money in terms of the piece of equipment. And for two, we don't want it to ignite the building because this kiln is going to be firing at a pretty high temperature. So we want to make sure everything is good to go. There may be some reinforcements that I do along the wall just to kind of protect it, insulate it a little bit as well. But we have a certain variance that we have to use in terms of where to place it in terms of walls and other things. So we got that pretty much set up. That reminds me, I got to put some paint tape in the back box that I use so we can take it there. So that's got to be done. And then the install of the sink, obviously we need a sink there so people can clean things and that type of thing. So that's got to get installed. There's a certain area that makes perfect sense. So we're going to get that installed. So those are some of the next steps that we're going to do. This building is great because this is where a lot of the transportation options for the city is. One, Sounder. If you're following our Instagram, the Painted Panda or the Painting Panda, you will see the Sounder train. I did a small little video yesterday. And literally, this is the train that goes all the way into Seattle and back down, all the way to South Tacoma and eventually to DuPont. But this train stops right there at Freight House Square, and you have a load of people who come through the building, obviously, because you could go down and go to the sidewalk and down, but that's silly. You can just walk through the building. Some people walk through there and grab a bite to eat or what have you. And it's really good because, I mean, we're talking within a short time span. I saw nothing but train after train after train after train. These trains have 8 cars, double deckers. It's a commuter train. So we rely heavily on that traffic. We want a lot of people who will remember, oh, there's a pottery store down there. So we're going to get signs and stuff like that posted in different areas so that people realize to go to the other side of the building, not far. I mean, you could stand out and see people, but people don't go down that way. So we want to make sure that we grab their attention. The other thing is Amtrak. Once Amtrak comes back to the station, that has a lot of people who will be coming through the area as well. A lot of people get on Amtrak and go wherever they want to go, so it's great. The other thing, the Tacoma Link light rail stops in front of the building. So if this is the building, Sounder commuter train is right here, and then right over here is the Tacoma Link light rail, which gets you all the way through downtown Tacoma and eventually up to Hilltop. And then right next to that is the big parking garage. So literally on the street is the Tacoma Link. Parking garage is right across from where we are, our shop. And then right there is where the bus hub is for the city. So really, really great location. And eventually the light rail line that connects you all the way into Seattle, once they finally build it down here. I did a video talking about the elevated station that they're going to build on 25th Street. But once they actually build that, it's going to be probably within close distance to where we are, the facility. So really, really great location. Really, really cool. Lots of events that goes on there. A lot of weddings and parties and different things that go on there, especially during the summer months. So it's really, really cool. The other thing is we're close to a lot of things that go on downtown. So you have obviously a huge university population down there, a decent university population. You have a lot of residential buildings going up right in that general area. I mean, literally Pierce Transit, which is the county transit agency for Tacoma, and they basically posted something just the other day talking about their transit-oriented development. And so they have a site, literally, you could open our window and throw a rock and hit it. And they're building a mixed-use, Pierce Transit's not a developer, but they're building this mixed-use building that's going to go up right there as well, called Tracks. And I've talked about it before on some of the videos, but that building's going to go up there. That's going to be perfect. There's also a building that's right close to there too that Cause Development is working on. They're pretty much done on the outside of it. They're just working on the inside of it. That building there is going to have a couple of, I think over 100 units for sure. And so that's within walking distance to us. There's other developments that are going to go on right in that general spot. So it's a really, and also don't forget too that potentially Topgolf will be in that general area as well, all within walking distance. So this is a great location for us. We think that it's going to be a really, really good thing. So that's kind of where we are as far as what we're going to do. Gotta install some carpet, install some shelving. There's some shelving that we're going to get for displays and things like that. And for people to actually choose the pottery that they want. We looked it up last night. Noelle wanted me to build shelving, and I'm like, that's not probably a wise thing for that. I mean, I don't mind building shelving for the girls and for, putting some fruit snacks on. But as far as like putting some heavy duty pottery and stuff like that, no. So I'd rather go and actually get metal shelving, which we looked at. And so we're going to actually install that. So I don't know, probably this week for sure. Not sure if Noelle's going to go and pick it up today or not, but definitely going to get it installed sometime this week. Have to keep in mind kind of where the kiln is going to go and where the sink is going to go, because those two you can't move once you put them down, or you can move the kiln, but it's a headache. So all of that is going to be happening relatively soon. So I think probably by the weekend, the shop will start looking more like a shop. Going to install a few different little lights and decorative pieces and things like that as well. Biggest thing right now is working on a marketing campaign. People were talking about a website, and that type of thing. Really, and they were talking about it's not that expensive. It is. When you think about how much money we're spending on this whole entire process, just getting started before you do anything, you have to pay the state to be incorporated. So we got our LLC yesterday, which was cool. So you have to pay the state a couple $100 for that just to have an LLC. Then you have to get a business license for the state to operate in the state and a business license to operate in the city of Tacoma. So two separate business licenses that you have to pay for. This is before you get started. So the first one is LLC and the whole tax and all that type of stuff. The other is to have a license to operate in the state and to operate in the city. Costs money. Then you have to also pay for the retail space. You know, some places will make you pay, obviously, a deposit and first month's rent. Some will also make you pay last month's rent. We only had to deal with the deposit and the first month's rent, but still a lot of money. The kiln by itself, very expensive. And then, you know, of course, Noe, once she starts to spend a little cash, she likes to spend a lot. So there's a lot of pieces. We have a book that has a catalog that has all the pieces, and so she's went through there, and we both have liked a lot of things, but I told her the space is only a certain size. You can't put everything in there, but it's going to be a nice variety, and so that costs quite a bit as well, installing the sink and all that stuff. So there's a lot of money involved, and so for us, our biggest focus is on the local community. So a lot of the stores that are there are working with us too, because obviously we bring people in, it helps them. This is like a small mall. It's not like the malls of today where you go in and it's all these national brands. These are local places. So a lot of different businesses there want to promote you because it helps promote them and it gets people through the doors. So that's helpful, and we're going to utilize that. There's also other groups downtown. Some of them are run by the city or city organizations, and the others are by groups and nonprofits who also try to pump businesses. So they put it out, they broadcast it broadly. So those are going to help us. We also will have just a basic little bitty website. Excuse me. I have another website that I've worked on for the business that's like a big, huge, long, detailed thing. I've built websites. That's kind of what I have been doing for a big part of my career. But I built one not long ago for a company. I'm building one for a foreign entity as well. So websites is not a big deal, but for this particular project, we're just focusing very small. And so I have a big website that's ready to go, and then I have another smaller one that's probably more suited for now. So technically we have two websites. Both are not active. The smaller one will probably go active probably today or tomorrow and get that ready to go. Also working with Google to make sure that we are found on the map and that there's things that, will help people guide them there and that type of thing. That takes a few days because they have to make sure that you are a valid place and that you have a location and all that stuff. So that's kind of where we are right now. Got a phone number for the store, did all of that. So yeah, you have to go through and make sure everything is actually done in a logical step. So all of that part of it, as far as the building of things, the things behind the scenes is all me. So setting up the business, all that type of stuff, all the paperwork, all of that, that's me. When it comes to the creative, artsy part of it, then that's going to be Noelle. She knows how to do pottery and different things like that and all of that. So she's got an eye for that. That's going to be more her. So me, I'm more or less all the technical stuff and all the heavy duty stuff. So most of what I need to do is almost done. But I mean, obviously I'm going to be running the store too, for sure. But yeah, a lot of the stuff, and in the future, if there's any classes that are going to be ran, Noelle's going to be the one that's going to be doing that. Not going to do classes just yet, but in the future, that is going to be something. We've had a lot of folks come up and want to partner with us, that's inside the building and some outside the building. So that's been really, really good too. And then also it's spreading amongst downtown. Outside of Freight House Square, there's other businesses that we've kind of talk to here and there who really and truly love us. We believe heavily in supporting local businesses downtown. Been doing that for a while. So those folks obviously want to help us out too. So it's a pretty good combination. Noel's a wonderful partner to work with and things like this. So we actually complement each other in many different ways. And this is another way where we have strengths in certain areas that are different from each other. But anyhow, that's where we are. You guys will be posted as we go through the process and do more and more things. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.